we're going to talk a little bit about goals. And what we decided when I was thinking through this is that our goals are for ourselves, for our wellness journey, should be physical. We are a physical being and spiritual. We are a physical and spiritual being. Our souls, you know, and for women and men that are in their latter years, we begin to carry a lot of baggage, not just internally in our organs, but in our hearts and on our backs from pain that we've had. So those are some of the things that we need to get well with. We need to balance. Some people call it their energy or their chakra, so that they're open, so that energy can run through them freely, so that we can harmonize our physical body, our mind, and our spirit. And what I want you to do on your paper is fold it in half, and you can write on there, kind of like a little notebook, what I want less of and what I want more of. So we have a little paper here, Angelique, and you can fill that out if you've got some time, of what you want less of and what you want more of as we're talking. She and I, when we were talking, the thought came to me of think great things, because thoughts take flight and they have wings. So the things that you think and that you write, your brain will be programmed to solve. Colleen said, yeah, we know what to do. What we don't know is how to get it all in, and we can't get it all in. But what we get in should be little micro habits and steps that, because look, big doors swing on little hinges. Like one day of eating good can give you a higher vibration, can give you more energy, can give you more control. And going to bed just a little bit hungry can give you a chance to really detox and not get acid in your throat and feel better in the morning. And going and taking a bath and soaking rather than sitting and being entertained, it can really make a difference. And like what Suzanne is really good at is organizing, like sitting down at your, and she has to have everything written, sitting down and writing and getting, it's just like open, pour it out, look at it, sort it out, make it better, and do it. You know, that skill of just decompressing and getting things out is a really good way to do it. So write down right now one of the first thing that comes to your mind that you want less of from you, and then think of some ways that on the other side of what you want more of to counterbalance it. And your goals are so personal. I cannot even give you one of them. They're different. Every one of us has unique needs. So, and then just kind of tag yourself on some things. You know, tag your it. Today you're going to do plank for 2.5 minutes. Set the Alexa, and don't get up off the ground until you've been there for that long, so that your brain knows, oh, I can do hard things. That's a micro habit, letting your brain do some little things. Let your brain know I am in charge of my body. So with the physical, let's see how we do this with physical goals. I have found that where I put my money and my time is in my health and in recreation, because for me, that is spiritual and emotional recreation, literally what it's called. Some people might think we're out too much doing other things, and that I'm not as capable of a leader. And there I am reflecting my own feelings, you know, those thoughts. But those things that I do are what make me the person that I am. I sacrifice for that recreation. I sacrifice for getting joy and beauty into my life, as well as my health. Okay, so healing your brain and healing your gut is the same thing. If you want your brain to work better, that organ needs to be fed, and there's 2 ways to do it. Who knows 2 ways to get your brain and your body healthy? Feed yourself good food. Build the vessel. Drink more water. Sleep. Get your exercise. And the next one is what doTERRA did for me with this Lifelong Vitality Pack. And that is kill the bad guys. Get rid of the bad guys. And what it did for me was balanced out my gut so it could heal. So there's two ways to get well. Do the work and get rid of the junk. Don't spike your sugars. Don't get too much in. Somebody said to me the other day, they ate so much of something watermelon and they got a really bad stomachache. And I'm like, what happens when you pour sugar in yeast? It just goes. What happens when you pour sugar in your gut and your bacteria goes, and you feel like you're like going to blow up? You know, that is exactly what happened to me all the time before I got well. It was always reacting. My gut was a mess and I had inflammation, a lot of inflammation. And I suffered with it as well as brain fog. So I know what happens when you get well. I know how it feels. I've been down the path and I'm really happy to have done that. So 6.8%, less than 7% of the adult population in the United States has optimal cardiovascular wellness.
Less than 7%.
So we really need to work on our skin, our heart, our lungs, harmonizing everything. Like, who has done aerobic exercise lately? I haven't. Oh, my daughter has. Greg has. Suzanne has.
I've done it.
Yeah, like get yourselves on one of those bike classes and hightail. I don't care if she says go up or down on that bike. If I keep moving for 1 hour, I chalk it up to a success. Do you know what I'm talking about? Those classes where they put you on a bike. Oh my gosh, after 10 minutes, my blood is so flowing through my veins. That's the one thing that is a real secret for bringing down your fats in your blood, is to get it moving. So well-balanced diet, high in fiber. So you really need fiber. 95% of us are not getting enough fiber in America. We have some people, they eat fiber in all their meals. And, you know, a lot of people that are eating prepared foods are getting like 2 or 3% fiber when they should be getting 30% in their diet. So we're really low on our fiber. And just getting a lot of low-fat meats and whole grains, beans, legumes, any part of the food that you want to peel and get rid of, like a kiwi, eat it. Like sometimes I peel a kiwi and I cut the 2 ends off and throw them away. And then I just, because I've washed it first, and then I just eat all the peelings. It's a good way to get fiber. Think of it, a scoop of Metamucil is worthless to your body. When you eat something that's natural, it has all the enzymes to break it down. It will help you not produce a lot of gas. Everything, yeah, pineapple core, anything I can, the rhinish part of things, anything I can get, because I'm building my gut, and I bet you anything I get more fiber than anybody in here. And tomatoes, things that are so rich in fiber, I really recommend those along with all the cruciferous vegetables. So your health is your wealth. That's what really gets you through. So these are some of the diseases that can be caused by overall, you know, bad health and bad brain health and your search. It's all from food. This is all from your supplements and your food. If you're not getting enough, we have all of these diseases. And I don't want my brain to go bad. I want mental clarity. I don't want to feel like crap. That's my whole intention of teaching and doing the clubs, to keep myself on the path. A good gut health, good brain connection, leaky gut, there we are. Thyroid, endocrine, your adrenals, your colon, your joints. Somebody said, it was, Christine's not here. Hopefully she gets here with her sister. Her sister said, I don't really have any problems with my gut. I just have inflammation. I'm like, oh, okay. It's caused from your gut.
Tamara's coming too?
Yes,
Oh.
I hope. And I did invite Vanessa. So we are holobios, which means 50% of us is bacteria. Our body is only a small half of us compared to all of the things that are in us, right? There's so much more. So what we do to build that, and it's so interesting. You've got to look at one of my posts that I posted lately called Gut Buddies for Kids. You bet. Gut Buddies talks about, let me move this little thing here. I don't know why that's sticking up right there. I don't know how to move it here. See if I can get it up. It talks about how the viruses and the bacteria in us, they're very selective about what they get. So your eating should be like a English country garden. You should get a big variety of fruits and vegetables. And I mean, go to the Asian store. They have all kinds of things you've never seen before. Grab one of those, a different, product and use it and eat it and keep yourself. And the wider circulation your body has from a variety of things, like we shouldn't get used to just, oh, we're eating iceberg lettuce and tomatoes and cucumbers. We need a good variety of things on a regular basis. So anyway, there is some of the things that help protect your immune system and the bacteria. It thickens the lining of your stomach when you get these wide variety, and it gives your body the ability to break down B vitamins, which is so good for you, as well as riboflavin, vitamin K. I had a lady that was using some supplements. They gave her, she had big problem with bacteria, as well as drinking Coke all the time, as well as fatty liver disease. So when you see someone that has this really difficult time with their gut, you just go, oh, it's probably like 40 pounds in there. And that started coming out and she got sick. And then when I gave her some oil, she noticed, this is gross, her poop had and her pee had the oils right on top of the water. What does that tell you? Her body's not absorbing any fats. What does that tell you about her brain? She's going into early dementia. She's not digesting her food. She needs medical help, and it's too late, really. I mean, I'm not gonna keep telling a woman like that to treat her liver until she knows what she's got to deal with. Because, this is a serious thing.
Because she isn't absorbing any nutrients?
She's not absorbing her fats. She can't break them down. There's too much in her liver.
So if
It's going right through her.
fatty acid in the liver, they don't quite consider it fatty acid.
Fatty liver,
But if there's too much
fats,
fatty acid.
just fats.
She called it fatty acid.
Well.
They found that the liver was having too much fatty acid or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
You can just talk.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not showing you anything.
Okay.
I'm not gonna see you.
No. So the question is that that isn't quite yet fatty liver disease when they have a little too
Depends
much.
on if the liver's killing itself off yet.
Yeah, so she said that they were not overly concerned about it, but that they wanted her to change her diet.
Yes.
Okay.
so.
The best thing for people that have fat is to really get the fat out of their diet and let the body burn off the calories.
So
and
no,
Support the liver with milk thistle to help get the fat out and doing cleansing.
so the fat would be like anything in our saturated fats or unsaturated fats or any of those kinds of fats. Kind of move those out of the diet for a while,
Well,
or.
she would probably stick with more vegetables, and
That's what I'm wondering. Will they-
it depends on how bad her liver disease is. So
What about healthy fats?
healthy fats, right? Well, our goal is to stay completely away from the medical system and to stay well.
Right.
And what we do makes a big difference. So when you start building up fat around the core of your body, that's called visceral fat. And that's where all of the toxins are formed. And that's why you can't lose weight, because that fat is basically protecting you from letting go of the toxins. You're eating less, you're like down to 1,200 calories, but you can't drop the weight. And the reason that you can't is because your body is protecting itself. And the liver is a fatty organ. It processes the food we eat. The kidneys process the liquid. These are the two organs that keep us well. So there's two ways to support the kidney and the liver. Number one is getting plenty of liquid and staying hydrated. Number two for our liver is getting lots of fiber. and getting things that will pull the toxins from the liver. And the best support for that is Silmarin or milk thistle. And that is one of the things that is in the XC Omega or the Alpha CRS, Silmarin. So you get really good support for your liver that will, if you've got, like some people that have used the Lifelong Vitality Pack, they have actually lost 10 pounds right away. What they didn't know is they didn't really lose any weight at all. They just lost a lot of food, and we call it sludge from their liver. So that kind of stuff is the best thing to get rid of ever. And I was doing a cleanse to get rid of it. So I found out that I don't really need to do as much cleansing anymore to support my liver, because of what the very minimum is a really good supplement that helps you support your brain, through the oils, your liver, your kidneys. So other than that, you know, for people that are really advanced in like lots of stones and things that back up into their liver, all the way up, fill all the way up into the pig or the gallbladder. And that would take a more serious cleanse. And just to do cleansing more regularly, like maybe every 6 weeks, do a good full long of cleansing. Or if you do the healthy habits cleanse and restore kit, do it for, instead of 30 days, do it for 80. You know, just keep it going and just really, you know, get that out, because once you start, we all have a lot of fat. I don't have a lot of fat in my arteries like a lot of people do because of my diet, but a lot of us are building up. We're like old ships, you know, corrosion everywhere. So did I answer your question, Ruth?
Yeah, but that's okay.
But the liver, in order to support your liver, you need to dilate the liver ducts and get it running smoothly.
She needs a detox.
Well,
It sounds like
or the Lifelong Vitality Pack, because it has Silmarin in it. And if her liver is backed up, it will let her know that she's letting out more than she's taking in.
Well, no, she's been to the doctor. The doctor has diagnosed this.
Yeah.
And now what they want to do is put her on a specific diet. She went to meet with the dietitian, and in talking with her, it doesn't sound like they've really started anything with her. They've just told her what she needs to be doing, and that they'll meet with her next month and go over her plan. And I'm thinking, if you've got fatty liver disease on the horizon, wouldn't you want to start working right now? And so I'm trying to think, what can I do to support and help her? And I'm hearing what you're saying, and
Everything,
it sounds to me like a detox.
everything, yeah. Yeah.
And she only has to take it once a day.
The capsule, we're talking about Zenderkin detoxification, and that will really support
Do we have
the
it
liver.
in stock for the,
I think we do. What we don't have is the GX Assist.
So I'm talking about cleanse.
Oh, the cleanse, I haven't seen it in stock yet.
But
Yeah.
Zenderkin can be the beginning steps.
Yeah,
You can just buy the Zenderkin complex, it's the long capsule one.
Complex.
so Zenderkin is a great way. The oil is good for the kidneys. The complex is fiber and good for the digestive tract. So anything that supports that.
Studying up on was collagen, and somebody told me that, Rochelle said that she thought she understood that collagen is going to be helpful for, fatty acids.
Yes.
But I did some study, and there's type 1 collagen. I guess there's many different types of collagen, but type 1 collagen is known to be a contributor to fatty liver disease because of the way that it winds up and it gets tight. And
They're hard to
creates soft
digest,
tissue,
right?
that actually is a problem. So I don't know how that interacts with and relates to the collagen product we're going to be drinking.
I don't know.
And if there are any precautions, I guess I get to ask that of the experts next.
That's right. So
I got it.
we're talking about fatty liver disease here, and we're going to move on, but we don't want to get that. So this is a little poster that I guess I should have had this on a screen. This is a little poster that we put together, Suzanne and I, to ditch and switch. Like, we're getting rid of a lot of the things that cause toxicity in the body, chemicals, and replacing it with the natural supplements and skincare products that we have, abode products. I'm using, we were able to get off antidepressants for Greg, which was a big healing thing for him. And just, working with allergies, getting off the chemical and pharmaceuticals and things that work so much better with your body. And that's why I recommend all of this that's up on the screen. This is just the Vitality or the Healthy Habits Kit. And it has Deep Blue in it and the Lifelong Vitality Pack here, which is this trifecta of supplements that really supports a healthy body and brain. And then, I've got the wrong kit up here that doesn't have turmeric and copaiba. This is one that I put together for an individual and I snapped it and I thought it was the Healthy Habits Kit, excuse me. But anyway, we also just showed down here some of the lotions that are anti-fragrance free. And this lady was at my class today and she said she didn't have any lotions that weren't fragrance free. Someone in there was very allergic. And yet she has really hard time breathing. I'm like, maybe you should try some of the fragrance free things yourself because they're really hard on your body. So anyway, I just find almost 95% of what I used to use in my cabinet is just gone bye-bye. I don't even put it in there where I need it anymore because all of my oils are solving all of those issues. So, there's just 9 out of the 10 problems that are seen up there are from your diet. So your inflammatory illness is a big, big part of and stresses, cancers, all kinds of problems in our culture. So, really focusing on getting away from really sugar and high fatty meats and processed food and chemicals, colors, dyes, all of that.
So if you're having problems losing weight, whatnot, and you cut out sugar and whatnot, it might even be further that there is just a systemic inflammation issue, and that can be resolved through the gut. And the reason I say this is because what happens with a systemic inflammation situation is our thyroid will make the T3 cells, but the T3 will not be able to go to the other cells of our body with inflammation and also dehydration as a working factor in us. Subject one, I learned that just this last year. My doctor that I was working with to help work with my guts, and that dehydration and inflammation were two key things that were keeping the T3 from actually doing its job. And so he was seeing within me what looked like a hypothyroid situation, but it wasn't. It's just my body wasn't absorbing what my thyroid was put down making. So my thyroid was always making just the inflammation up here.
Yeah.
Well, what's exciting is that nurse power is supposed to redo, it's literally supposed to be a metabolic remake, which means our thyroid's going to improve.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm excited for that too, because I hate that normal range for your thyroid is right here, because I sit right here.
Yeah, yeah.
And so every few years, he's like, okay, I'll help you. No, I'm not.
Yeah. That's what my doctor said too, Dave. I've always gotten thyroid, and they said that I was borderline, but never anything really showed up. And she said I was explaining that this functional medicine doctor told me it was an inflammation and dehydration. And those are the two things. And I'm excited for the collagen for that too, because it's great at anti-inflammatory.
Well, really what we're getting in the fall with doTERRA is we're getting, which is coming up next week, we're getting the advantage of marine collagen and NMN, which I have no idea is. We're going to find out in our conference. and redefining our biological aging. So this is going to be supporting our metabolism, which is the way our body uses and creates energy, and improving our ability to lose weight, to feel good. Their skin, these women that have been using it have noticed a vast change in their skin, which is something that really excites me, because I've been hesitant to use any collagen because of what Ruth said, and my son's a biologist, and this one has 9 peptides. It's from tilapia, and I just know I trust the way doTERRA does things. So I think it's going to be a real game changer for all of us in our inflammation and our weight loss. So hopefully that will go. So one of the reasons that a lot of people have digestive issues is because of the lectins and things in plants. And these are things that protect the plants against insects, as you know. And people that have a low immune system, sometimes they're eating foods that are really irritating their gut lining and getting a lot of chemicals and sugars and other things. And so even this is one of the things I brought up with Mark, because he's really into creating lots of yummy bread. But as I've been getting well, I've noticed my body I find what works well for me. I already know what works well for me. So I might be different than you, but the goal is to help our body with its digestion. We don't have enough enzymes. So getting digestive enzymes every day. I know when Suzanne was trying to heal her neck and her back, she was taking up to 8 digestive enzymes a day, because we have a friend who had a bone spur that just went away once she started getting enough digestive enzymes. So give your body what it needs to break the food down, and eat the food. Eat the food of the land, and eat it with gratitude in your heart. We're so blessed. We're Americans, and yet we're some of the most unhealthy people on the planet. So eat the good food of the land. Good habits are no harder than bad habits. They're just a heck of a lot more effective. So do the good stuff. Your immune system, your body has an amazing ability to heal. But a lot of us are just the way the food is grown. We're just not getting the nutrients, especially magnesium. So I want to shift now from physical things to spiritual things, and talk to you a little bit about what to surround yourself with. And all of you know this. I have a little quote here. It says, our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. The soul, this is William Wordsworth, the soul that rises with us, our life star, hath had elsewhere its setting, and cometh from afar, not in entire forgetfulness, and not in utter darkness and nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory. Do we come from God, who is our home? Heaven lies about us in our infancy. You know, I have a little granddaughter who's Adeline, and she is so full of herself. She's 5 years old, and she lights up the room. If she walked in here right now, you would all have eyes on her, and she would just be in her element.
And then glare
Yeah, she's got an attitude, but when do we lose our love for ourselves as beings? Suzanne and I had a conversation when we first got to know each other, and she was kind of trashing herself, and I was kind of buoying her up, and she accidentally said, I love myself. And I said, there you go, you said it.
Good.
Now live it.
I learned something today. I was listening to Jack Canfield's
Success principles, and he was talking about an athlete that was on the witness stand in a judge's court, and the judge asked him how the game was going and whatnot, and then he asked him if he was one of the best or whatever, and the guy was a humble athlete. And he stopped for a moment, got quiet, and he said, well, actually, Judge, I'm one of the best that there is. And the judge was shocked and said, "Why did you say that? I can't believe I heard that out of his mouth because he's always been known to be humble." And he said, "Well, Judge, I'm under oath and I figured I better tell the truth." And what Jack Canfield said was, "I want you all to be like, live your life like you're under oath."
Right, be truthful.
When it comes to talking about yourself.
Yeah, a lot of us lie to ourselves. It's easier than facing the fact that we are incredibly gifted and powerful and blessed, and we are enough. And we have everything that we need. So write down some of the things that you want less of in your spiritual world, and some of the things that you want more of. I'm just going to read to you a few things of mine that might hit a vein of truth with you. Be more Christ-like, share my gifts and talents more freely, both in my behavior and in my thoughts. Take time to pray, ponder, study, read, reflect, seek to bring more light into the world. I want to be more saintly in a lot of things. I'll listen to my thoughts. When you actually get a thought, it's not your brain talking to yourself. You gotta recognize where that is coming from. And I believe we have guardian angels that protect us. I believe that some of those thoughts that we get are from the man down under, and we should run. Pull up our boots and get out of there. Drop to our knees and pray for help. So I listen to my thoughts, I follow my impressions, and I treat others with respect, acceptance, and charity. If I don't hear back from somebody that I'm really wanting to be at my class, I'm busy. I forget. I sometimes don't even look at my phone. I put it away, or dies, or it's on silent. So give everybody the charity and the acceptance that they need. So does anybody have any thoughts on what they want more of in their spiritual sides?
More of a connection, more of a feeling of connection, feeling of
Purpose and connectivity.
I would say just my spiritual life, we get wrapped up in our world. So I would like less chaos and more like organization, more linear thinking of like, get this done, then it's this thing that's next, and then it's this thing that's next. And that the Lord's house is not a house of chaos, it's a house of order, right? And then it's like, after you get everything in order, then you can do the fun stuff.
Yeah. Anybody else?
It's interesting. Some people consider chaos to be a creative energy.
Yeah,
I don't know about
that one.
Yeah, so there is something
there
of a
is-
positive to chaos.
Yes.
But for me, it's all about balance. It's all about having a happy medium of both order and the chaotic creative cycle. I mean, when he gets in the kitchen and he starts making his bread, it's chaos to me, but it's order to him. But it looks like chaos to me. But
Just
it's
looking at the end goal.
yeah, and he's putting it together in a systematic way, but it looks chaotic in the process
Guess
of the
bread maker is
creation.
at our house. Sitting right over there.
Yeah.
He wants me out of his way. Okay, so some of our spiritual and emotional goals. For emotional, I'm thinking resiliency is one of the things we really need a lot of in our lives. And it's interesting that some of the people that should be the kindest to us are the hardest on us. Our little kids, yeah, and our very own self. Yeah, chink right out of your armor. But I think realign yourself with emotional resiliency, and look at children, how they take any abuse, any difficulty, a hurt, a fall, and they just get up and go again, and they forgive so quickly. And I just think childlike behaviors are a good way to be emotional, blessed are they. So I loved what Byron Katie said about the 4 questions we should ask ourselves when we think somebody has offended us. Let me just give you a quick scenario. So I went to a conference and I left Greg on a weekend, and I'm probably going to do it again this October. And while I was there, they said to us, you know, do you see, if you fell backwards, who do you see? You know, you're going to fall backwards and your friends are going to catch you. Who do you see holding you? And I just saw all my friends, all the people that were there. And I saw my husband up near my head. And in my mind's eye, he stepped backwards. Because what did I believe? He wasn't supporting me. And so when they asked these questions, I really had this lump in my throat. He doesn't love me. He doesn't care about me. Of course he does, guys, but it was just in my head. And these things that get in our head, like the bubbles, need to be popped in a bazillion ways sometimes. So number 1 question, who knows it? Is it true? Okay. Is it positively true? Is number 2. Can you know absolutely for sure that it's true? And then the questions start coming in. And then how do you feel or how do you react when you believe that thought? And the last one is, who would you be without that thought? And sometimes that thought, like he doesn't love me, is actually me saying, I'm here and I don't love him because I'm not with him. Or we're projecting our own feelings upon another person. How does it feel for me to say, I don't love him? That doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right for me to say he doesn't love me either. So I use this all the time when a thought comes into my mind. I have to evaluate with different people where I stand with them by these quick questions. And as long as my heart is good and I'm doing the right thing, then I'm going to be able to say, no, it's not true. And yes, it makes me feel bad. And I would feel much better if I didn't have that thought. So I'm not going to call that person behind me in the car creep anymore, because that's just,
So is it true? How can you know if it's true? What's the third one?
how do you feel? How do you react when it happens? And when you believe that thought, who's it harming right there? Like this, Katie.
Book that's loving one is.
Oh, I know.
Book, and that's the basic foundation information. It's very basic, very simple guideline. Loving one is.
Lots of videos out there. The last one is, who would you be without that thought? So turn it around. Turn the thought around, So sometimes I think I need to be with my mom and dad more. Do my mom and dad actually, is that true? Do they really want me to be around them more? Or do they want me to be living my life and telling them what good things I'm doing? Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes we put these guilty feelings in our mind with all of the relationships of our lives with people, and we start carrying a lot of burdens that really we could let go. Like I let negative thoughts go in an absolute instant. I drop them on the floor and kick them out the door since I read that book. It's a game changer for me. doTERRA has given me lots of people that heal and shown me a lot about healing myself emotionally. And the next thing I want to talk about with emotionally is just habit stacking. To heal as a person, you need to really be aware of the big picture of what's going on around you and open your eyes to your behavior, just like Angelique was saying at the very beginning. Your decisions, you're just one decision away from a better life. Each decision you make puts the door in the direction that you want it. Do you want it to be more open, or do you want to close it and get yourself in a dark little room so you can suffer? Keep yourself flowing, keep that energy, your chakras, heal your brain, heal your heart, heal your spirit, and do things that are high frequency and high vibration. So these are the things that I put up for emotional. Do one thing at a time. I got this from a guy that wrote a book, Live Like a Monk. And he says, do it more deliberately. Do it more deliberately. When you sit down to eat, do it more deliberately. Make sure that you're prepared. enjoy it. I'm so grateful that I have my husband to do that with. Because I would often just eat over the sink, you know, I'm done. Just, I'm not joking. I don't want it to drip on on a plate or anything else. I just eat it over the sink. So, you know, 2 minutes, done. So be more deliberately. Think about it. Entertaining.
No, he can eat that fast and I'm the slow one. That's just hilarious.
Well, Greg brings me down to his level. Like we sit and we talk and we listen to our food chew together. It's just part of our culture, you know? How are you? He said to me, I ever since my throat surgery, when I swallow water, like if you hear me swallowing, you actually hear the sound of my throat. It's because my muscles are not real coordinated since my throat surgery. So I don't like hearing it any more than he does. I can't make it go away, you know, but we are deliberate about our eating together anyway. Number 2, think things more efficiently and purposely. Do things more efficiently and purposely. Okay, this is one of my very high skills in the kitchen. I am very effective at preparing food and I know what I want and what's good for us. I do it. I de-junk, I prepare, I'm proactive. I go to bed early. I do all of the proactive things. Everybody's not that way. Some of us are just born that way. Luckily, I had a college teacher that said, when you get up in the morning, trace your steps. Go to the bathroom, then you go here, then you go there. I don't. I just do things in a very conscious way. My habits have been refined in a way that I can do things, I would say 20 or 30 times more effectively than most people I work with. I was a teacher. That was my best gift, is being so welcome. How are you, Marilee? Just she's going straight to the kitchen for food. And then she can come in there. There's plenty of food in there. Grab yourself a meal. So, and then do it completely. Finish your tasks that you set off to do and get up early and power stack. What power stacking means is if you've already got a good habit, like getting yourself hydrated in the morning, well, I have to come clear in here to the fridge. So I just put my water in the bedroom and put a big gallon of water in the bathroom and pour a cup and hydrate right after I go to the bathroom so I can get ready and get all my bedroom stuff done before I do my other stuff. So think about your productivity. We don't need to be productive all the time. Doing nothing, it might be the most meditative, calming thing that we do all day. And the reason a lot of us can't sleep is because we are on screens all day. We never go outside. We never connect with ourselves and with nature, which we are part of, and just reflect. So that's all important. Doing nothing. You want to get stuff done that you have to, so you can do nothing some of the time. Do less entertainment and be more producing. I call myself a producer. I think every single person in there is a producer. So, you know, why do we do essential oils and how do they play a part in us keeping calm? Christine, you want to speak to that? Since you're an essential oil enthusiast, how do the oils help you focus during the day?
It
And
calms me. So I do the Serenity and put it a couple drops underneath my tongue and it calms me down, especially if I'm feeling very anxious. I also keep certain rollers on hand if I need to hurry up and like smell it or just take some deep breaths and be able to utilize that to the best of my ability to make me feel better. Along with I take my I can't even think.
The diffuser?
Yeah, my diffuser. I have the mobile one and I just take that everywhere with me. And if I need it, I'll just put my face over it and just start smelling it.
I just got a pilot.
Oh, I love mine.
Okay, so talked about diffusing. So we're just going to have a little oil experience here. I'm going to let Suzanne help me for a minute. So Suzanne, this is bergamot. I just want you to give 2 drops to everybody. Pass that around. And I want to give you an oil experience of feeling an emotional shift. So kind of be thinking about how you're feeling right now, how your day's gone. And then I just want you to put 2 drops in, rub it together and get it into your brain like this. And just breathe it in.
So I was just thinking of something also that I heard today from that book I'm listening to, Success Principles. Jack Canfield says, when you agree to something, follow through. Because if you do not follow through, your brain will not believe you. And it'll stop believing you, and then you will lose faith in yourself. Because your brain believes what you give it an affirmative for. So if you, and he said, be very particular about your agreements. Don't just agree to everything. Be very particular and discerning and think about what you're agreeing to, because when you make the agreement, you must follow through so that your brain can say, this is truth. Yeah, it was really fascinating.
I love that.
follow through really does matter. So when you were talking about completing your task, that's part of when you make an agreement, or it's your integrity. And when you follow through and you complete that task, then that integrity stays intact, but it also gives you a mental clarity and confidence in your ability to do the next task. And
So
that's
Ruth
what
is saying,
expands and opens up the
when
doors
you do
for.
things and you follow through with them, you're giving your brain that good feedback that you follow through and that you do things. So there's the arrow on this little slide here. You know, this is do it. And this is some of the things that we've talked about that you need to do. You need to love yourself and your health. You need to live better, serve more, be more productive. And these are the things that protect you, your body, your spirit, your soul, all of the things that, you know, get you where you need to be. And you are what you do for yourself. Everything that you do, all the energy that you put in. My friend Marilee just came in. Hi, Marilee. She is a hiker. She can overcome any obstacles in nature. She is incredible. And she's my age. And she is just like a beacon to me. All of us have different skills and talents. Do the things that you do and do them well. I can get down on the floor and while we're watching TV, and he can sit there and watch me the whole time and do exercises. Finally, he got some stretchy things that he can do. But like, I will work out my core. My husband said, I love exercise. I could watch it all day. Yeah, I can get down on the floor and work on my core. I actually don't like carrying extra weight around my middle. When I bend over, it cuts off all my breath. I can barely breathe. I have scars on my stomach. It will just literally hang right over it. There's no muscle tone there. I have to keep myself, and it is hard. It is hard for me to lose 5 pounds. I'm carrying an extra 7 pounds right now. That is like a gallon of milk for me. So, you know, you all have different feelings about yourself and your weight. And the number one thing is, if you love yourself, do the things that you need to do to be well. And just keep working at it. You only go up this spiral helix of life one time. And it's not going to be a merry-go-round. It's going to be getting better and better and doing the things that you do more effectively. And so they don't even cross your mind when you do them. The way you brush your teeth, the way you get yourself dressed, the way you do your hair and your face for the day. So you can every single day, you have to do this to yourself every single day. Seriously. We should just get a suit and go down. Anyway, it's an effort.
The Jetsons
Yeah, that's right.
should be able to push buttons, just like that,
Yeah, so
including on the exercise.
I know it should be easier. So in closing, I just want you to write down some positive affirmations for yourself and teach you a tapping to do. Well, so take a minute and write down some positive affirmations. I'll tell you some of mine. You can write down, you know, I can be happy. I'm capable and caring. I'm authentic, true to myself. I have a bright future. I can stay focused with my priorities. I can be satisfied with what I choose to do. I have a knowledge and ability. So the way that we're going to do this shift, okay, you've all smelt your bergamot, is we're just going to do the tapping in the centers of our brain. and the sides of our temple. I mean, think of the places that your body holds these tension. This is like taking a little package and just tapping out the extra stress. And like, I want you to give yourself some of those positive affirmations while you're doing this tapping. The very worst things that you suffer with, even though they're your weaknesses, turn it around, do a flip. Like, I can do hard things. I can figure out the computer with my husband's help. He loves me and cares for me, and I know he'll help me do this. Sometimes other people are part of the solution. You know, you can tap on your throat, on that center part, your shoulders, right where they connect, your two elbows. And if you can feel yourself getting stressed, do some tapping. Did the oil shift anybody's mood? Did anybody feel an
Yeah.
emotional shift or maybe a letdown? Like, did it? I actually got bergamot once and I thought I was getting something to help me sleep, and it helped me sleep. So just the awareness. Did it let you down? It relaxed you. You would think a citrus would make you go, whoa. So
Maybe it's just too late today.
yeah, they're all different.
That was bergamot.
That was bergamot.
That smells like lovely. I love
It,
that.
It's the tiniest orange in France. And the reason we love doTERRA is because they make about 10 metric tons of that a year, but they sell about 30. So what they're doing is they're taking other citrus oils and just saying pure bergamot, and see what doTERRA is doing is getting growers and producing pure bergamot. So when we get the oils, they are incredible. They smell better and they are better, and they're pure, and you can use them internally if they say so.